The Cleveland Browns have spent decades stumbling through heartbreak, quarterback chaos, and endless rebuilding slogans. But the Shedeur Sanders saga threatens to become their most defining collapse yet. Sanders was supposed to be the savior, the player whose arm, charisma, star power would finally break the curse that has haunted the franchise for generations. Instead, Cleveland now finds itself staring down an existential crisis after a staggering $90 million offer surfaced to pry Sanders away, complete with $65 million guaranteed, endorsement deals brighter than any Super Bowl ring, and perks so unprecedented they sound like fan fiction. Reports even suggest the mystery franchise dangling this golden carrot would give Sanders the power to pick his own coaches and rename the stadium. In other words, this isn't just a contract, it's a revolution. Inside Browns headquarters, panic has erupted into full-blown chaos. Owner Jimmy Haslam is said to be volcanic, holding emergency late-night meetings and pacing hallways like a man preparing for disaster. Executives scribbled desperate contingency plans on whiteboards, from offering Sanders partial team equity to promising lavish perks no NFL team has ever considered. Meanwhile, coach Kevin Stefanski, already on the hottest seat in football, has been crucified by fans for refusing to bench Dillon Gabriel in favor of Sanders, despite the rookie flashing a near 70% completion rate and jaw-dropping poise in preseason action. The tension hit its breaking point when Cleveland embarrassed itself on national television against
provide my saying that went by we're away I've been with right with Sessa been brown was said in fight I for rhyme but ran cause femme for was
Hot mics picked up Ravens defenders laughing mid-play, mocking a coaching staff that seemed determined to waste its brightest talent. That decision didn't just cost Cleveland a game, it cracked the locker room in half. Offensive linemen, the men tasked with protecting Sanders, are livid at the thought of losing the quarterback who validates their sacrifices. Wide receivers, whose highlight reels and contracts depend on Sanders' precision, feel betrayed. One veteran reportedly quipped, "If Sanders leaves, bulldoze the stadium and build a parking lot." Defensive players forced to carry the team week after week have thrown helmets in frustration and openly mocked the offensive clown show. What began as whispers of discontent has grown into a fractured roster choosing sides. Hashtag team shatter or hashtag team system. Stefanski's refusal to adapt has turned the locker room into a powder keg, with players, coaches, and assistants quietly polishing resumes in anticipation of an implosion. Fans have only fanned the flames. Cleveland's notoriously loyal supporters, who have endured freezing tailgates and decades of futility, now threaten open rebellion. Social media detonated the moment rumors of the $90 million offer leaked. Hashtags like hashtag free shatter and hashtag fire Stefanski trended worldwide within hours. Petitions demanding Stefanski's firing crossed 100,000 signatures overnight. Bars across the city have turned into fire the coach watch parties. Even lifelong season ticket holders, those who swore they'd never abandon the Browns now, openly question whether to renew. With some flirting with rival teams rumored to court Sanders, merchandisers already report jersey sales dipping, unsure whether fans will commit to a player who might not be around next season. Downtown businesses dependent on Sanders' star power to fill restaurants and bars now brace for millions in potential losses if the rookie phenom bolts. The NFL world smells blood in the water. Jerry Jones reportedly sees Sanders as the perfect heir to the Cowboys' star-powered legacy, already imagining a TNT stadium filled with Navion Silver Sanders jerseys. The Miami Dolphins envision pairing him with their high-octane offense, offering both sunshine and legitimate playoff contention. The Las Vegas Raiders, forever chasing spectacle, view Sanders as the headliner who could turn Allegiant Stadium into Hollywood every Sunday. Even the New York Jets, desperate for relevance, see Sanders as a chance to finally steal the spotlight from the Giants. Rival owners and executives whisper the same truth. Sanders isn't just a quarterback, he's a billion-dollar brand. Landing him means jersey sales, national ratings, and global marketability that could change a franchise overnight. Meanwhile, Sanders has gone radio silent. The same young quarterback who regularly shared workout clips and behind-the-scenes moments has vanished from social media. That silence has become its own form of power. In a league where every player constantly broadcasts their every move, Sanders' retreat speaks louder than any press conference. Insiders say he's privately consulting with veteran Super Bowl winners, men who warn him not to waste his prime in dysfunction. They remind him that quarterbacks have limited windows to cement their legacies, and that loyalty to a broken franchise often leads to regret. His calculated silence only ramps up the pressure on Cleveland. Shifting the narrative with every passing day, Sanders is prepared to walk, and so the ultimatum emerges. It's no longer whispered. It's shouted from fans, echoed by players, and dissected on sports talk shows. Stefanski goes or Sanders goes. There's no middle ground left. For Haslam, the decision is about more than wins and losses. Sanders has already proven himself a revenue engine, fueling record jersey sales, ticket spikes, and national relevance Cleveland hasn't tasted in decades. Losing him would cost not just games, but tens of millions in annual revenue, sponsorships, and local business booms. Financial analysts warn it could take years, maybe decades, to recover from the loss. Yet firing a coach mid-season is messy, and some front office loyalists argue that bending to player demand sets a dangerous precedent. But the tide is turning, and fast. Players, assistants, and free agents are already hinting they won't stick around if Sanders leaves. The entire NFL is watching. If Sanders forces the Browns to choose him over Stefanski, it could reshape league dynamics forever, proving a single player can wield more power than an entrenched system. It would be a seismic moment in the sport, one that could embolden future stars to demand control over coaching, strategy, and organizational direction. If Cleveland refuses and Sanders bolts, they risk becoming the league's eternal cautionary tale of franchise that once again fumbled its shot at salvation. 2. Understand why this matters so much. You have to understand Cleveland's history. This is a franchise that abandoned its own city in the 1990s, leaving fans betrayed. When reborn, it became a graveyard for quarterbacks. Tim Couch, Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield, all hyped as saviors, all flameouts. Even Deshaun Watson's $230 million fully guaranteed deal turned into more controversy than glory. Sanders was supposed to be different. He was supposed to be the one to end the carousel, to lift the city out of misery. Instead, the Browns stand on the brink of repeating history, proving once again they've learned nothing. Rival executives already whisper that Cleveland is cursed. It's the ultimate cautionary tale where careers go to die. For fans, the dossier vu is unbearable. Sanders' arrival had them believing the curse was finally broken. His highlight reels gave them hope. His charisma made them dream again. But if the Browns fumble this, if they let their ego and dysfunction drive away the most electrifying player they've seen in generations, it won't just be another chapter of heartbreak. It will be proof that the Browns are incapable of saving themselves. Proof that the curse lives on, and now. With each passing day of silence from Sanders and every restless night in Cleveland's headquarters, the clock ticks louder. The Browns face a once-in-a-generation choice: protect a stubborn coach and lose their future, or embrace a new era by betting everything on a star who could change the trajectory of the franchise and the city itself. For Cleveland, this isn't just about football anymore. It's about survival.